Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to RompSteel versus Saved by Him. So we're on to game 3 here. So a bit of context for the bidding. So the bidding for game 3, you bid in action tokens, just action tokens for this tournament, no Dwarven Rings. And the higher seed bids first. So he was seed number 1, so obviously he's bidding first. So the context for bidding between me and Saved by Him specifically in the, what do you call it? The league playoffs last year, we played essentially a best of 3, except you bid and pick sides every single game. And both times I offered him 3 tokens and accepted, and I think both were like pretty close games, but I won both of them. So I was thinking he might not take 3 tokens this time. So I was thinking to myself, maybe he'll still take it. So if he offers me 2 tokens, I'll offer him 3, and he'll probably take it, and we'll try it again. But I was even thinking he might offer me 3, so that I'm the one stuck with 3, because a lot of the time people aren't willing to venture into unknown territory of like no one's ever offered something this high before. So I thought maybe he'll offer me 3 and I will continue to be the first person to do something, and I'll offer him 4 tokens, because this is something I was a little bit pleased with for myself, is that I've been the first person to ever offer 3 tokens in a base game. As far as I'm aware, anyway. Like, I hadn't seen anyone else do it in tournament play or league playoff play, anyway. And in the Lords of Middle-earth bidding, I was the first person to offer 1 token, and the first person to offer 2 tokens, and the first person to offer 3 tokens. But he beat me to the punch on this one, and he offered me 4 tokens. So he's the first person to ever offer 4 tokens, again, as far as I'm aware. So I wasn't expecting that. So I thought about that one for a little while. So 4 tokens is, like I said, an unprecedented amount of advantage in competitive play. And a lot of people would just say, yes, absolutely. But I don't know. I still really feel more comfortable on Shadow. So I went ahead and offered him 5 tokens. And now I don't know what he's going to do. So he went at the thought for a while and then offered me 6. And so now I'm wondering, do I want to play as Free People with 6? Or do I want to offer him 7? Wow, what a nuts world. I'm sure a lot of you are watching this, because sometimes the Free People's wins with 0 tokens, right? So holy moly, how are you offering 5 or 6 tokens? I decided to take the 6 tokens. And off we go. So there's those 2 tokens. There's the 2 shadow tokens. And I put in 2 Dwarven Rings. Decide, like, we're going to say the blue one is the muster a nation down, and the yellow one is a draw a card one. So yeah, off we go. All right, I need to view these hands here. Right, normally I start at card viewing, but I wanted to explain and let you enjoy the insanity that our bidding was. Anyway, so there's mine, and it's fascinating to me finding out afterwards that he put 6 as his password there. I don't know if you could see the bubbles as I punched them in, but I guess he was predicting actually that our bidding would go up to 6 and that I'd take it. So that's pretty wild. Anyway, so he starts with Many Kings and Wormtongue. Decent. I start with Through a Day and a Night and Gwai here. Also decent. So Fellowship, okay. 0 eyes. He rolls 2 and only 1 muster. So that's nice for me. So I'm definitely not planning on giving him a ring this turn. He starts by playing Many Kings. I use a draw card right off the bat, because the thing about tokens is you can only use 1 per turn, right? So I can't smack all these down to have 1 crazy powerful turn. Like, I can't rocket the elves right to war right now with those 3 muster tokens. So it's and you don't know how long the game is going to be. Like, if it's a fast one like turn 7, and if I'm holding on to them and I still have like 4 tokens and the game's about to end on turn 7, then that's wasted value, right? So I decided to draw a card right now because I have that Palantir and I'd like to be able to cycle, and I pick up a card that cycles, so that's fine and dandy. He thinks about it. He moves armies around off towards Woodland Realm. I think that's smart, going to get Woodland Realm, because if you do the usual waddle the Barad-dûr army up to Woodland Realm and this army over to Lorien, then there's plenty of time for the Free Peoples to use these 3 tokens and muster the elves down to war. But if you just quick besiege one of them, then go ahead, that's fine. Have fun with the elves being at war. I'm just not going to go get that stronghold. I'm going to go somewhere else. So I think that makes sense. So I play Kindred of Glorfindel, and I get to cycle a couple more cards. So Wisdom of Elrond, Aemir, that's fine. Be right back. Okay, back again. Sorry, that was a long customer. I forgot where I was. Right, I just played Kindred of Glorfindel for the cycling. He musters Sauron to war. I put that guy in the way in Old Forest Road. Would have been nice to pick up a scouts here, but oh well, what can you do? He attacks Old Forest Road. I slap down a confusion because lol, why not? Like I'm kind of expecting to be drowning in cards, with the extra card drawing here. Anyway, so I don't get a hit from my confusion, which is a bummer. He gets one hit. I don't. So oh well, what can you do? I move and I'm safe. He continues moving on his way towards Gondor. I move again. I get hit. I get very much hit this time, but it's a 2. So Fellowship is already off to a better start than in either game 1 or game 2. Game 2, 1 and 2, I think they both got hit with 1 reveal on both the first 2 steps. So anyway, and there's Thranduil, so that's great. Mithril Coat, also a good card. Fellowship, okay. He allocates 1 eye, rolls no more. I roll lots of movement, so that's nice. So I pass. So Saruman comes to war. He moves towards North Ithilien and West Horondor. I use my other one to muster Gondor down towards war. One of my, 6 tokens. Lol. Anyway, so he plays Hill Trolls, makes North Ithilien and Dol Guldur stronger. I move the Fellowship, and they're hit, and it's a 1, so that's frustrating that I got hit on a 1 at 6, but at least it wasn't a reveal. Anyway, because getting revealed into Moria would have been round 3 of rough stay in Moria. Yeah. Okay, so he tries to bring out the Witch King. I point out that he can't quite yet, so the Witch King does not, in fact, come out yet. So now he attacks Osgiliath with no card. I try another confusion. This time it gets 1 hit, so that's something. And no hits back. The 2 regulars retreat. There you go. I muster up in Minas Tirith. He besieged Minas Tirith. I move again, and I'm safe. Out comes the Witch King, but up in Old Forest Road. And I move again, and I'm missed. So I pick up King Brandsmen, which is another awesome card. He gets Cruel Weather and Horde from the east. He allocates 1 eye, rolls just 1 more. I get 2 Wills of the West, so it's very nice that I can get Gandalf this turn. I play King Brandsmen right away, just in case he did attack there. I draw into Riders of Theoden. He musters the Southrons towards war. I get Gandalf. He finishes mustering them to war. I move the Fellowship, and they're safe. He attacks Pelargir, no card, no card. I get 1 hit, he gets none, so it's nice having those regulars retreat here. And I make a gamble here. You can call it a mistake. Mistake or gamble, I don't know. So I muster in Lamedon, specifically gambling that he's going to attack there, so I might as well have 1 extra die to attack back. The downside, though, is that he can attack Woodland Realm and blow it up right now, and I won't have a chance to play Thranduil. But I do think to myself, I have a Daylight. There's decent odds that they would survive 1 attack. So he brings in Saruman, and then he thought for a really long time and did go after Woodland Realm. And I did play Daylight, but he played a Deadly Strife and just blew it up in 1 shot. So that was very sad for me. In hindsight, yeah, like it would be slightly more efficient if he had attacked Lamedon to have that elite there. But gambling not getting to play Thranduil at all is also frustrating. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Okay. Oh yeah. I use a token here. I muster the north 1 step towards war with 1 of those. Since I've got these 3 guys here in Dale, might as well try to make the dew line a bit more of a pain. I pick up Bilbo Song and Faramir. I chuck out Thranduil. Very sad. Okay, Fellowship okay. 1 eye in, 1 more rolled. He rolls a smack ton of musters, and I roll some movement, so there's some hope that way. Anyway, he musters up in Orthanc. He musters up more in Orthanc. I bring in Éomer first, so that if he attacked Ford the Vizon, I could still use this hybrid die to bring this army into Helm's Deep. I'm also contemplating, I'm 4 steps away from Mordor. If I happen to not get revealed on the first 3 movements, I could use a ring and move a 4th time. Or even if I got revealed just once, I could hide. So part of me was thinking about not playing Éomer at all here and just seeing if I could get to Mordor. Anyway, he continues mustering up in Orthanc. I think about it. Decide to move the Fellowship instead, but I'm hit revealed on the first step. So there goes that plan. Yeah. So it's the 1 reveal into an eye. At least it was an eye on the second reveal. That helps. He thinks about it. He does go ahead and bring in more Nazgul. Fellowship hides. He moves Nazgul again. I move again, safe, and then hit. It's a 2. Takes Boromir. Out comes Grond for taking out Minas Tirith. So he cycles Wormtongue just for the heck of it. Wow, both Muma kills in hand. That's exciting. But yeah, not really good playable cards for playing Grond here. So obviously I can't play a card on the first round. We both do 2 hits. Second round, I play Shield Wall. He rolls only 1 hit to successfully counter my Shield Wall. I get 3 hits back. Third round, no card, no card. He rolls 2 sixes. I roll only 1 hit. He presses again and rolls another 2 sixes. So I don't know. That's a little annoying that like he had no cards to help. He had 1 foul stench, and just in 4 rounds of combat, he rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sixes, and I did not that many hits back. So I was a little annoyed by that. But oh well, what can you do? I muster up in Gondor just to be a pain. And he attacks Dale, which is the right choice, because if he hadn't attacked Dale, I would have happily used this muster token to get the North to war after this movement, and then muster in Dale at the start of the next turn. So he attacks Dale with no card, and he gets 2 hits, and I get 2 hits. So a little bit sad that he took that, like, 2 of them died, but at least the leadership escapes to Erebor to hopefully make Erebor more difficult. But man, it's 4 turns, and he's already got 6 points down. Like, what are these tokens doing, man? Anyway, and that, of course, now Guards of the Citadel shows up just to taunt me. So yeah, Black Captain commands in a desperate battle. Very nice. He probably chucks Balrog here. Yeah, chucks Balrog. I think that's the right call. Fellowship declares away from the Nazgul. Fellowship, okay. 1 eye in, 1 more rolled, and I've got 3 movement, so hopefully that's enough to get to Mordor. So at the time, I was annoyed by getting hit, but then it was a reveal, and I realized that that's actually kind of a blessing in case he had Cruel Weather, which he 10 out of 10 had. So yeah, here we are. So I take a random, and it's Gimli. So he thought for a while, which makes sense now that I'm seeing his hand and how he had Cruel Weather. So he's probably just sitting there cursing for a while at the fact that he doesn't get to play Cruel Weather this turn, because obviously I'm going to use a token, so I go last here. Okay, so he gets his armies together for going to get Erebor. I walk that regular over. I could muster the dwarves down and wait for him to attack, but there's a decent chance he'd just run around me, and then I'd still have to walk that regular in if I wanted to have a full 5 units. If I had Dane in hand, I would have been more tempted to do that, because like, go ahead, walk around, then I'll just play Dane. It'll be great. But I didn't have Dane, and I didn't have Scouts, so I'd rather just have a full 5 units in the stronghold. So he plays his Shadow Lengthens to bring that army over closer to Erebor, and 1 regular down to Orthanc, might as well. I was a little surprised he didn't bring like a regular with the Witch King and this Nazgul leadership closer to Dol Amroth, but like a regular there is still useful anyway. Okay, so now he plays Black Captain Commands, moves to the Nazgul up to Erebor. Very nice and efficient. He plays Dreadful Spells against Erebor, gets 1 hit. That would have been perfect timing to have Dane right there, so I could have lost a regular and got Dane in very efficiently, but sadly no Dane here for me. I draw a card specifically hoping for Dane, yeah, but it's the red arrow, so whatever. Out goes Wizard Staff. Yeah, he starts the battle against Erebor. Oh, right, I see a strategy card here, and I'm thinking, what cards had we seen go by at this point? So I haven't seen any Swarm of Bats, so there's a chance that it's a Swarm of Bats, but there's also a decent chance that it's a Desperate Battle or a Deadly Strife, both of which would make Bilbo's Song as Fateful Strike here more likely to succeed. And because I'm feeling in pretty good shape corruption-wise and pretty scary shape military-wise, like, it's unlikely that Bilbo's Song will work here for killing the Witch King, because I need both the leader rerolls to be a hit. But on the other hand, I don't really need... I don't think I'm going to need the healing here, so I decide to try it, and it's Desperate Battle, so that's great. That helps. So he gets 3 hits, which is a bummer, and I get 3 hits on my roll, which is perfect, so that I still have both my rerolls here, but I only get 1 hit. So yeah, that's a bummer. At this point, even with my 2 rerolls buffed by Desperate Battle, it was still only 1 in 4 that I'd kill the Witch King, but would have been cool though. Yeah, so 4 plus Nazgul. He does not press, which I'm a little surprised by, to be honest. So I used the muster to hide the Fellowship. I was definitely thinking about why hearing some companions out to fight in Lambden, but yeah, I don't know. It's just choices, So he attacks Erebor again, uses the other Mumakil card. He gets 3 hits. I get 2. Doesn't really matter though. So now it's been 5 turns and he's got 8 points. So that's very, very depressing stuff. I kind of think at this point, so I move here because I'm, this is really funny that he did have Cruel Weather actually. I guess I just spoiled what's about to happen. Anyway, so I'm looking at what he has. He has one character card. So out of the 19 character cards out there, I haven't seen Foul Thing, Isildur's Bane, or Orc Patrol yet. And there's only one Cruel Weather. So if I wait, then it does mean that there is no chance at all that he can play Cruel Weather. But there is those, 3 cards out there that all would pull a tile. And if they happen to pull like the 30%, 3 out of 10 tiles that reveal me, then that stalls me from Mordor for a whole turn here. So I decide to move first here so that if he plays Cruel Weather, okay, I move a second time and I make it to Mordor. So yeah, just this way it guarantees getting to Mordor instead of having that chance of one of those tiles revealing me. So I move and I'm hit again and I'm revealed again. So there's just no chance for Cruel Weather either way because I got revealed both times. So one reveal into a 3, which is a bit painful. I take a random and it's a Hobbit. So now Corruption's looking a little bit dicier. He moves Nazgul Leadership around, ready to come dunk on Helm's Deep. So I think about hiding here just to slightly increase the chance of getting a dunk in one turn, but then I look at the hunt pool, there's only going to be 3 tiles that don't reveal. So it's literally mathematically... Oh, no, wait, I guess it was technically mathematically possible because I could lose down to Gollum with the first 3 movements. Like if I hit 3-3-1, I could kill all of these, then those zeros wouldn't be revealed. So never mind. It was technically possible if I'd hidden here that I could roll 4 movement or 5 movement and dunk in one turn. Pretty unlikely, though. So I decided to chuck a blue tile in there to hopefully increase the odds of me, because I have Strider, right? So I can hide with any die, but I can't chuck in a blue tile or play Mithril Code and Sting with any tile. It needs to be a Palantir character or Will of the West. So since I have this character that I can't move with right now, might as well get that blue tile in there. So I pick up File and Imrahil. Those are good cards. Still definitely feeling a little bit doomed at the moment. 1 eye in and away we go. He rolls 4 eyes though, so that helps. I was chanting at the screen pretty hard right here. 5 eyes, 5 eyes, 5 eyes. Because the only way that I win here is if he stalls out militarily so that I have this turn and another turn, and hopefully I get an easy hunt pool and make it to step 2 or step 3 this turn and then finish dunking next turn. So anyway, so I hide right away because I'm scared of Day Without Dawn. Like I don't want it to take away both of my tiles. Both of my Wills of the West, So he attacks the Ford Divison. He's playing Swarm of Bats into my Scouts, which is nice for him. He only gets 1 hit, though, and I only get 1 hit. So that actually worked out better for me because I still have a full 5 units. That regular was going to be extra overload. So unlucky he had Swarm of Bats. Lucky he only got 1 hit. Yeah, anyway. So I draw a card here. Right. I specifically drew a card because I was thinking to myself, I'd like to play File before I start moving because eyes would hurt a lot here. But it would be even nicer to get to play Ents first to kill Saruman in case he has fighting Uruk-hai, which he doesn't, but I don't know that. And also, of course, take away the leadership here. So, yeah. So I draw a card. I think that's the most valuable contribution a token made thus far in the game, getting to draw Ents. If I'd played Thranduil instead of blundering that, then that also would have been credit largely to tokens because the token drew Kindred of Glorfindel, which helped me to cycle more strategy cards. Anyway. Okay, so he passes, I play Ents, kill Saruman, and I play File of Galadriel. So I could have also played Gwai here now to put Gandalf into Helm's Deep, but I'm kind of just hoping that he's going to... I don't know. Part of me was hoping that he would get the mouth and kind of give up on going after Helm's Deep this turn. I guess that doesn't really make sense. Like, he's probably going to do it anyway. Like, what else is he going to do? So he attacks Helm's Deep, and now I play Gwai here to get Gandalf in there. Because, yeah, now that Saruman's dead, now there is actually no functional leadership there. So, yeah, he thought for a bit there. He musters up an Umbar because, yeah, as we can see, he has Corsairs here. I see that he might, of course, but I decide that I'd rather get moving with the Fellowship and hope to dunk next turn because I have Imrahil. So, like, this army against that with Imrahil, plus this army could fight that army off, probably. So I decided to move instead, and it's an eye. So, anyway, let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tiles that would have been fine, 4 eyes. It's a little frustrating, but Anyway, so bye Strider. Take another 2 corruption. And he plays Corsairs. And I use a ring to hide here because, again, I feel like I need to try to win by a sprint next turn because it seems unlikely I'm going to be able to hold them off another turn. Okay, so he draws Sealer's Bane and King Revealed. I draw a Book of Mizarble and there and back again. 1 eye in from him, 2 more eyes rolled, and I roll, this decent roll. I decide to open with attacking Dol Amroth from Lamedon, especially since I just picked up advantageous position. Like, that should be a nice start to the battle for me anyway. Because if I don't attack Dol Amroth right now, then this army can come and fight me, and then I have to retreat to Eric to get away from them as opposed to retreating to Dol Amroth. So it just feels like the best way to protect Dol Amroth. And just hope Gandalf can hold off in Helm's Deep anyway. Okay, so I attack Dol Amroth. I use my advantageous position. I roll 3 hits, which is nice, and he rolls 0 thanks to my advantageous position. So I press, and he stays. No card, no card. I get 1 hit. He gets 1 hit. Press, stay, no card, no card. 1 hit, not a hit. Great. So Dol Amroth is in reasonable shape now. So he thought for a while again, brings in the mouth. I move the Fellowship. It's a 3. I think that's actually the best scenario here because I need to go fast too, and I don't want to get revealed by these zeros. So ideally a 3, and then I would love to hit the file in these zeros here. So away go the companions. Leadership moves. I play Mithricoten Sting here because I realized that if I moved again right now and hit an eye, it would do 4 damage, which would put me up to 11. Then if he had, Morgul Wound, for instance, or either of the other 2 cards, because I haven't seen any of those 3 cards yet, then that would just be GG. So I'd, put Mithricote down first and then decide to move again with a ring afterwards anyway. He moves leadership over. So now he has the mouth there, so he has 2 leadership that works against me. So now I use a ring to move again. And it's a 0, so that's great. Okay, so he uses the mouth ability. Gandalf shines naturally. Okay, so I play charge against his relentless assault. My charge does 1 hit, so that's nice. He takes 1 hit with the relentless assault and does 2 damage. I get 1 hit back. So not exactly a glorious showing from the Rohirrim here. The charge went okay, but the rest of it didn't. Now he draws into a We Come to Kill, so that's nice. I muster once in Carrick and once in West Emnet, so that, next turn, if I have a couple H's, I could threaten retaking Dale and possibly waste an attack from him. So he attacks Helm's Deep again. Gandalf shines. Right, so I see a strategy card. I'm worried about, Deadly Strife, Desperate Battle, so I play Imra Hill for the shield wall. It's We Come to Kill. He gets 1 hit. I get 1 hit. Yeah. So he takes the regular just so he still has his 4 rerolls from the elites. He gets 1 hit that way, and he presses again. And now he draws into fighting Uruk-hai, and I think he plays it for the Onslaught. Right, and I played Brave Stand here, so he's rolling 3 dice with 2 rerolls. No hits for him, 3 hits for me, which is a big deal because now he can only take 3 hits on the Onslaught here. So there's his 3 for the casualties, and there's his 3 for the Onslaught. So he needs all 3 of those to be a hit. So it's 1 in 8 that succeeds, and he gets 0 hits with it. So that is huge for me because not only does he, not win, and I survive to see another turn, and all I need to do is take 2 steps and not take 5 corruption from it, and I have a ring and I have Gollum. So I'm feeling pretty good. And also next turn I can sortie and probably kill the Witch King and the Mouth next turn, which would, neuter his chances for future turns, like just with 2 less dice and without leadership, and without the Witch King's redrawing ability. So, okay, so he draws Breaking and Pits of Mordor, and I drew Last Battle and We Prove the Swifter. I was also thinking We Prove the Swifter is epic here because assuming I sortie and he comes after Dol Amroth, now I could play We Prove the Swifter to bring Gandalf down to Dol Amroth too. So that's pretty cool. So he allocates 1 eye, rolls 1 more, and I rolled this pathetic roll. So even 1 movement would have been enough to give me a great shot at it. Like, as long as I hit anything but an eye, and I could even Mithricoten Sting away the eye, would be decent chances. And if I had theirs another way, there would also be a chance here. But alas, that's how we do. So I sortie out of Helm's Deep, and I make another mistake here. I don't shine because I think, it's only one regular. He has leadership anyway, so I might as well keep that extra reroll for myself. But I forget that Dread and Despair is a thing, which really frustratingly, I realize he only just picked up. So it's not like he was holding on to it for that kind of scenario. I just got unlucky that way. So he forfeits 2, and I don't get a hit, and he does. So that's really frustrating. Like, it's slightly over 50% odds for both of us to get a hit in here, but just me not getting one and him getting one is, very bad news bears here for me. So anyway, he retreats, draws Orc Patrol here. And Gandalf comes out. So he thought for a really long time. I played a whole match of Clash Royale while I was waiting here. So his armies move from Moria out towards the Shire, and this army from Pelargir out towards Osgiliath, which I absolutely think is the right way to play it. I draw a character card here. If I'd gotten There's Another Way, would have had a real shot at winning, but no, There's Another Way here. Also, all 3 heroic deaths are still out there, which would help Gandalf hold out in Helm's Deep. Wouldn't help Gandalf hold out, but it would help him help Helm's Deep hold out. Say that 5 times fast. Okay, so he moves towards the Shire and towards Rohan. Yeah, so I muster a regular in Fold and a regular in the Shire to get in his way and to help Shire make a last stand. So he attacks the Fold, no card. He gets a hit. I don't. I pass. So here's debatably a mistake. Maybe I should have mustered in Helm's Deep first, because it feels like he's coming for that. But if I didn't, then he could half walk here and half walk here. And then I guess I could use a ring to muster in the Shire and hope that holds. But then, let's see. Then he would still have 3 attacks, so then he could still come and... maybe I should have done that first. No, but if I must... Yeah, no, I think I probably should have mustered in Helm's Deep here. But I passed, and he attacks Westamnet, so no card. He gets 1 hit, and I get 1 hit. So I muster an elite in Helm's Deep. Whoops. I loaded the wrong save file. Right. Bummer. Wait, shoot, did I save? I did save it on a different one. Bear with me a moment. Okay, back with the appropriate save file. So I mustered in Helm's Deep. He besieges Helm's Deep, leaves a regular behind. So I think about, should I muster in Edoras in the Shire here? Probably not. If he does take the Edoras and move this army towards the Shire, then I could use a ring to muster in the Shire. And then he's stuck trying to do this attack without the mouth's leadership, or win 3 regulars against 2 regulars and an elite with the defensive bonus. So I pass. He conquers Edoras and brings those troops in. So if I had, if he hadn't conquered Edoras, which I think was wise, then I could try with a ring to attack Pelargir here to try to bring a point back. But now, even if I do that, then he's still at 8 points and still just needs to win against Helm's Deep. So I draw a character card hoping for a heroic death. I get a blue tile. So delightfully useless. He uses ring to attack Helm's Deep. And here we go. So Gandalf shines. I see strategy card, so I play Daylight. It's Great Host, so that's a bummer. He gets not a hit and not a hit. That's good. I get 2 hits, so that's a good start for me. So he thought for a bit here, because the sad part for him is he has to kill an elite entirely to keep Great Host, because he needs to have twice as many units as me, so he needs to still have 6. If he loses 2 regulars, then Great Host does not trigger. So I think he makes the correct call of losing an elite and keeping his 1 hit from Great Host. So he presses, and he'd drawn into another onslaught. So here we go with the onslaught against I play Mighty Attack here, which does nothing, but it is technically playable, because play if a companion is in the battle, forfeit your leadership to get 1 hit. So it doesn't work because Gandalf is shining, so his leadership is not available to be forfeited. But you can still technically play it because a companion is in the battle. The only reason for doing that is because if he'd been playing Swarm of Bats would have canceled this instead of adding leadership. So that's why I played it, because I didn't have anything better to play anyway. So on the off chance this was the other Swarm of Bats, would have helped. Okay, so he rolls 1 hit and I roll 1 hit. So that's a bummer because yeah. So we talk about that, the fact that Mighty Attack does not in fact work here. So I only do 1 hit, so he can still take a full 4 regulars here. So if he gets 2 hits, he wins the game. If he gets 1 or less, then we go on to another turn. He gets his 2 hits. So yeah, I'm very sad. Yeah, just the especially the not rolling any movement here, and not picking up any cards that helped. Yeah, or even rolling, 2 Palantirs. Like to be fair, I did make those 2 mistakes. I didn't shine when I sortied there. So if I had shined, then the mouth would have been dead. Actually, did that even make a difference, though? Because did the mouth leadership actually get any hits? It didn't get a hit there. Didn't get a hit there. Okay, so maybe not shining didn't actually cost me the game. Like, it was still a mistake. But maybe I can console myself that at least that isn't directly cost me the game. Anyway. Maybe it did, though, because if he hadn't had the mouse leadership, maybe he would have gone with a different plan and maybe it would have failed. But that's the thing about this game. You can endlessly torture yourself with what if I'd done, what if I hadn't done that, and you don't really know what would have happened. Yeah, because God alone knows all possibilities like that. So that's a sad end to the tournament for me, because like in quarterfinals, game 3, like if you win this game, you make it to the semifinals, and then you get to play at least 4 more games, because even if you lose, you go to the 3rd place match. But losing here, it's done. You're out. So that's extra sad for me, because this is my 6th like competitive tournament. So like 2 base tournaments, 1 Lords of Middle Earth tournament, and both the league playoffs. And all of those I've made it to the final 4 anyway. I came in 4th, 3rd, 1st. So this is my first time not making it to the final 4, so that's a little bit depressing for me. But yeah, I mean, that's the game. It can give you a win completely, and it can rip victory from the jaws of death like this. Rip. Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, it's good at doing what it wants. Anyway. Okay, so statistics. These are reversed. The combat dice here. So he was +2 on 6s, +6 on 5s. So I was overall -1 on hits. So that feels a little bit bad, because that mattered a lot in Helm's Deep at the end there. Overall, I was about neutral on movement, +3 on musters. That's a little bit overall -2 on attacks. So that's also a little bit yeah. So like a good close game though. Anyway, like I certainly credit to him. He definitely played it well. And also, who knows, maybe if I'd saved the muster there, like he would have wiped out that Langdon army, and maybe I would have lived to regret not playing that muster. No, I still think that was a mistake, though. That was gambling a large blunder for a small game. It was just not a great choice. But anyway, definitely best of luck to him. Quality player, good guy to play against. Yeah. If anyone needs me, I will be angrily playing chess for a while. Toodles.